tonight I'm going to talk about classified advertising and job board advertising. Don and I cut our teeth when we first got involved in the direct sales industry. Oh, back in the olden days, way back in 2004. Makes me feel so old. Way back in 2004, that's what we did. We didn't do it online though. We placed ads in newspapers, in the classified sections of newspapers and magazines all over. We first started in the United States, and then we thought, hey, we have a global business. Why are we just saying here? And then we branched out into Canada, and then we placed ads in classified sections of newspapers, magazines, and eventually online all over the world. And that is how we began our business. As a matter of fact, there weren't free classifieds at all when we first started. So we would call up a newspaper in Poughkeepsie, New York. There was no rhyme or reason of why we picked one place over another. We basically did the very scientific way of saying, let's throw a dart at a map. That's where we'll place an ad. And we just placed as many ads as we possibly could, as much as our budget would allow. And then every time a sale came in, we took a percentage of that money and reinvested that back into our lead generation. Well, the world has changed, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that have changed along the way in our conversation here tonight. But now it's super easy. You don't have to call up some $6 person that argues with you, or someone that's making $6 an hour that argues with you whether or not your ad is 20 words or 18 words, or says that they don't take your kind of advertising. There's none of that. You can get a lot done in a very short period of time and generate a ton of leads, certainly. And we're going to talk about free advertising here today, but everything that I'm going to be talking about tonight also you can pay for, and you can get better results, obviously. So let's talk about, let me get my PowerPoint rocking and rolling. Just one second. Forgot to set it up. So let me just make sure that it's set up correctly. It is. And let me share my screen. I always forget how to do this. Okay. Okay, so Don, can you see my screen?
See.
All right, right on. Okay, so obviously I've already talked about what we're going to talk about tonight. A couple of things. As I mentioned to you, when we first started, we started with job board and classified advertising. And we started with newspapers, and then we moved into job board advertising online and classified advertising online. We were doing paid at the time because there wasn't really anywhere. Craigslist hadn't even barely started. Locanto hadn't barely started. Big Pine, all of the various classified and job boards. The job boards were there. Career Builder and Monster and Seek and InfoSeek and Yahoo were all alive, but there really wasn't any free classifieds online. So we started with paid. Because that was back in the olden days, that was what was available to us. And job board advertising worked great. We used job board advertising until about 2008, probably. And what happened, a couple things happened along the way. This was our, what a lot of people call in advertising, it was our honeypot. It was exactly where we wanted to be. We dug a beautiful hole and started to make money from classified and job board advertising. And then I realized, okay, so we could pay $300 for a posting on Hot Jobs or something like that. But we could also pay, and that would be for one listing, but if we signed a contract for 20 listings, or 30 listings or 50 listings or whatever it was, that price per posting could go down to $40, for example. So one of the big jumps in our business, and I know we're talking about free tonight, but I just want to plant the seed in your head. One of the big jumps in our business was when, and Don knows this, I walked into his office one day and I said, I have a contract here with Hot Jobs for $22,000. And there was no way that we were able to pay for it at that time. Luckily, they were going to bill us on a monthly basis. But I thought, why wouldn't we have instead of just one listing, why wouldn't we have a bunch? And we ended up splitting the cost of that contract with a number of other people. But what it did, it allowed us to go from very little income. That year we made I think we did over $275,000 that year. So just know that once you find something that works, and I'm going to talk about how the numbers work next week, but once you find out that you can spend X and you'll make Y, you can scale that up very, very quickly. And that's exactly what we did here. So PS to that, around 2008, 2009, job board advertising ceased to work. I think that everybody in the world got it in their heads that was where you were going to be, and there were just too many ads. So everywhere you looked, there was an ad for home-based business, a business opportunity, work from home, independent representative, all that stuff. So it stopped working. So Don and I ended up going and doing other things. But I am back. I have seen in our organization right now, and I know you guys are from a lot of different businesses, but in our organization, we have somebody in our team that had 20-some signups in a weekend and in her business. So this is back. This is something you should pay attention to. This is also something that is terrific for brand new people on your team that want to first get their feet wet and gives them time to understand how the internet marketing industry works and how their sales funnels work. And it allows them to start generating leads and sales very, very quickly, rather than waiting and figuring out how Facebook advertising and sales funnels and all that other stuff go. So I pounded that one to death. So let me get here. First thing first, and I've said this in other tutorials at other weeks, guys, do not use your company name ever, unless it's your very own company name. Like Don and I own Flat World Ventures, LLC. We own Big Pants, LLC. We have our own company names. But as a reminder, you don't work for Doobly or doTERRA or Herbalife or Monat or Jeunesse or Visalis or Carrot Bars, or you do not work for those companies. You are not a representative of those companies. Moreover, you just want to make sure that you are putting your advertising out there in a way where you're not revealing the name of anything. You want to control that process. You want to generate a lead before you turn somebody on to your sales presentation. So just remember, as you're putting your ads out there, and plus, I guess the biggest thing is if you read your own terms and conditions or the policies and procedures associated with your company, I guarantee you your company has said you may not use our trademark in any of your advertising, nor may you ever even remotely imply that you're an employee. So you cannot, and you don't want to anyway, put an ad up that mentions your company name and or positions you as an employee of that company. So start with free advertising, and then when you find something that works, of course, then transition into paid. So I love job board advertising, and the reason why I love it is that when you're running your ads to people in that particular category, it's just smart. They're already looking. They're out there. Maybe they decided their spouse has to move, or they have to move and they don't want to move, or the commute just got too long, or maybe they're having a baby, or maybe they're not spending enough time with their family, or maybe they just got downsized, or maybe they're looking for a way to generate extra income. This is just a smart place to be in front of somebody that is actually in transition. So I think of it this way. I think of all of my advertising as kind of like fishing, right? I put my bait out there, and whether it's a posting on a classifieds job board, or a posting on an actual job posting on a job board, I'm putting my bait out there. And I don't want to work with everybody that nibbles at my bait. I want to work with the perfect person that eats my bait, and it's kind of a weird way of looking at it. I want to work with that person that is completely, totally excited to work with me. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. So I put my ads out there, and that's just bait. And I'm confident that over time, if I keep placing my ads over and over and over again, I will find the perfect place or places and the perfect wording of my ad and the perfect subject line over time, that I will just be able to generate the perfect business partner from that ad over and over and over again. So I get this question a lot. Carla, should I run free ads or paid ads? Free ads work and paid ads work too. So they both work. Here's the deal. As I mentioned at the top of our conversation, you either have money, which you trade your money for advertising, and you're going to want to do that. You have to get over that, right? That's something that's important. Or you have time, and you trade your time with your grunt work in your business to have money later. So you get to pick which one you do. I happen to like paid advertising. I do lots of free advertising, but I like paid advertising because simply I just think that my ad looks a little bit more legitimate. The opportunity looks a little bit more legitimate. But that's not to say that free ads don't work. They do. And I encourage you. As a matter of fact, I placed 25 or 24 or 25 free ads yesterday, right? So I'm in there in the trenches doing the exact same thing as you guys. So you might be asking me, well, how do I find where to advertise? Well, first of all, you want to think about, where does your company do business? Is your company only in the United States? Is it all over the world? Is it in 45 countries? Is it in 32 countries? Is it in 180 countries? Where does your company do business? And then I bet you guys already know what I'm going to tell you to go. Google. Google is the answer for everything. I'm on that darn Google, and I'm going to do this live for you in a second, but go to Google and then Google free job boards Sweden, for example, or free classified advertising Denver, or free employment websites United Kingdom, or top 10 job boards Ireland. You guys get the picture. It's just logical. If you're looking for something, you'll find tons and tons and tons of resources, which actually to me I get overwhelmed. There's so many things to pick from. So I keep my list on an Excel spreadsheet, and I make a list. When I first start going, I'll make a list of 10 or 20 in each region that I'm planning on placing an ad. So I'll make a list of 10 to 20 job boards in Australia. Or maybe it's just 5 to 10, right? It depends on this. In Australia, there's going to be a ton, but if you're only talking about, I don't know, South Korea, there might only be one that is applicable for you. So I make a list, and I begin making my posting. So I make my list, and then I'll go to the first one, and I will go to that website, and I will look for a link somewhere on the homepage that says post a job or employer, or I saw something different today. I saw something that said advertiser. And as an advertiser, they meant somebody that was going to post a job. And typically, you're going to look for a link for employer. Then you'll set up an account. And by the way, sometimes they want you to register your company name. Please remember that your company name is not your network marketing company. It is not that company. I've made up names in the past. Don and I used to call ourselves, we still do sometimes, Imagine Partners. And that is not a company name that we've registered anywhere, I don't think. But we'll just put I would put Imagine Partners for everything that we have. You can sign up for a company name with your local government if you want. Frankly, I am very much into getting stuff done and not getting sidetracked by details. So if you don't have to do that, as a matter of fact, personally, if I didn't have a company, I didn't have some company set up, and they wouldn't take my made-up company name, I wouldn't advertise with them. It wouldn't be worth my time to waste time trying to figure out how to fix that problem. I would move on to the next. So if they say ask for your company name and you don't have one, just decide on one and use that for everything that you do, and then post a job. That's it. Now, couple of tips. The title of your job is pretty important. You're going to want to have keywords that people search for when they're looking for stuff on a job board. If you put something like, I've got to make up, say you were selling picture frames and you were looking for a rep to sell picture frames, you wouldn't want to say, picture frames are fun and easy to sell, right? Because there's nobody that's going to search for picture frames are fun and easy to sell. So I use things like work from home. I love independent representative. I like that one personally the best. I might say independent representative in picture frame industry, ability to work from home, right? So then I'm getting independent representative and I'm getting work from home in the title. But make sure you're have a title that makes sense, and you're not going to want to just say independent representative. Remember, you're selling yourself, even though it's a job posting, you're selling yourself and you're selling from the beginning. So you're going to want to put something in there that's enticing, like self-employment opportunity for health nut, right? Which you'll probably attract the most perfect person if you're in maybe Beachbody or ViSalus or something like that. So again, don't put your company name in. Frequently, the job posting will ask you to put a salary in there. I avoid that at all costs. If I can, I'm going to put lucrative income opportunity, the word lucrative income opportunity or lucrative compensation plan. I do not like to put anything in there, frankly, because I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want, first of all, it'd be against my company, and certainly I'm against your company, it'd be some kind of income claim. If I have to, I'll put a big range, right? Anywhere from $5,000 to $200,000, but I avoid posting any kind of salary if at all possible. And I use a notepad, and notepad there's a notepad on PCs and OneNote on Macs. You can use that, just a little notepad on your desktop to keep all your titles. You only have to write a couple of titles, and you only have to write a couple of postings, and I'm going to show you how that works. So again, while you're writing your posting, look at other postings on job boards and find one or two that you like and plagiarize them. Honestly, you don't want to completely copy them, but copy the style, make your own personality out of it. I call that swipe, right? You can swipe it and then just rewrite it so that it applies to who you like to work with. And keep in mind, you're writing to that person who is your perfect partner. And we talk about this in our boot camp. But you're going to want to identify who is that perfect person I want to work with, and write that job posting for that perfect person. So write two. That way you can see which one works better. And then if one gets a ton more responses, you can ditch the one that doesn't. And if you want to, you can write another. I'm too lazy to do that. I use the same one over and over and over again. And be professional, but definitely use your personality. If you notice, if you go through a bunch of job postings out there, you'll see ones that are so boring. Like, oh gosh, am I selling insurance? Not that selling insurance is horrible. There's probably some people listening to my voice, but you know what I mean, right? Is you just want to have a little personality in there. And do not sell, be spammy, salesy. A great question to ask yourself when you finish writing your first draft is, would you answer this ad? And you probably don't have to worry about it too much, because you'll find an ad that you really like, that appeals to your sensibility, and it probably won't be spammy or salesy either already, and you'll just rewrite it. Cool. Include a couple cool points that represent you and your business. Fun environment, supportive training. Obviously, you might want to put, well, people will be on the computer responding to your ad, but sometimes I'll put computer and internet connection required. So just put a couple cool points there that represent you and your business. And then, important, include your opt-in link. This is critical. There's lots of ways to get that done. It all is different. It's different on every single job board. Sometimes you can put your opt-in link right in the body of the post. Sometimes you have to put it, sometimes the business, the job board will ask you, how do you want these people to apply? And if you can put your opt-in link, your lead capture link, your squeeze page link, your lead generation link, it's all called the same thing. If you can put that link in there, that's great. There's other ways around that that I'm going to talk about in a second. And sometimes, oh, and I already said that, put your opt-in link there. And some, and I'm going to show you one in a second, they only have their candidates reply on their website, and I'm going to show you how to handle that in a second. So sometimes when you have a job board, and again, they all work differently, so I can't cover the 50,000 ways that job boards work, but it's pretty easy to figure out when you're on there. Sometimes, for example, Craigslist they don't allow you to put a link in the ad, typically. I've seen people get away with it, and if you got away with it, that's pretty cool, that's awesome. But most of the time, the way people respond to your ad on Craigslist, for example, is they hit a button that says, that sends you an email. So what you want to do is a couple times a day or once a day, sit down, and all the different people that have requested information about you and your business, send them a canned email. And this is an example of a canned email. All it says is, this says Career Builder application, but it's, hello, thanks for your application on work from home business in your business. Please note this is a lucrative self-employment position in which you work from home, set your own hours, full training and support is provided, and there's no cost to get started. Please visit this website, put your lead capture page in there, and complete your details to watch the business overview video. Just sit down once a day, get these all out, and move on and do something else. So basically, that's it. It's really easy. A 12-year-old can go and sell their bike on Craigslist. I'm sure that you can go and post a job or a classified listing, but don't do it one time. Make a personal commitment to do it 20 or 30 times a day. Repeat, 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 repeat hundreds of times, and pretty soon, all you're going to be doing is renewing your ads. Typically, an ad is good for about 60 days. And so it'll come up for quote unquote renewal, whether you paid for it or if it's free. And if you've done 30 days ago, all you have to do on day 30 is just renew those ads. That's it. Pretty simple. So I'm going to go through real quick a couple of things. Let me get out of this. Don, can you see my can you see Google?
No, I'm still looking at the slides.
Okay, so stop, and then I've got to share again. Share Google. Now can you see Google?
Presented today.
Done?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, let's say that I'll give you an example. I'm going to search for top job boards. Whoops, I might get better at typing. Boards. I'm going to say employment. Sites in the Philippines. Okay, so I just searched for best employment websites in the Philippines, and I'm going to I'll pick this one here, and it comes up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different job posting places in the Philippines. So here you go. You've got 6 to look at, and this is really cool because this website tells you that they're free, $50 a month, which is awesome. Free. Craigslist we already know is free, and these are paid. So how would you know which one, if you're going to choose, I would do them all, but if you were going to choose, if you had 20 of them here, how would you choose which ones to do? So I use a website called Alexa. Alexa is Alexa.com, Alexa.com, and all Alexa really is it lets you know how much traffic goes to a website. So it ranks all of the traffic in the world. So the top website in the entire world that gets the most traffic is, as soon as Alexa loads this page, is Google. Number 2 is Facebook. Number 3 is YouTube. Number 4 is Baidu. 5 Yahoo. 6 Amazon. Good for Amazon, and it goes from there. But the cool thing you can do with Alexa, they have this area up here that I can go, and I can go bestjobs.ph. Let's look and figure out. Let's go there, copy it, and paste it here. Let's see what their rank is in the world. So their global rank is 71,908, and the rank in the Philippines is they're in the 500. So that's pretty good. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's a pretty interesting website. I'll go on there. Let's go to this one. I'm going to copy this one and go to Alexa. Let's see what Sunlit is, or Sulit is. Sulit is global rank is, they don't have any traffic. That's almost 500,000 in the United States. So I probably, if I'm choosing between 20 other websites, I might not spend any time on Sulit.com. Onlinejobs.ph, whoops, how much traffic are they getting? So you can just use this. I wouldn't spend too much time on this, but if you've got too many, if you got 20 or 30 to choose from, and you want to maximize your time, you can use Alexa to figure out if it's worth your time. So for example, onlinejobs.ph ranks 176 in the Philippines. So it gets a lot of traffic in the Philippines. That means a lot of people are actually visiting that website. So that's how I would find websites. I'm going to go to one of my, I'm actually advertising on this website called Quikr right now, and I'm advertising in India. This happens to have a lot of people, a lot of cities across India that you can advertise, and they've got this weird chat system. Every single website is different, so you've got to just spend a few minutes and learn every little all the little ins and outs. So this person, Surajanova, whatever it is here, requested some information. Hold on, I gotta log into the chat. And all I'm gonna do is go to I don't think you can see this, but I'm copying and paste. I'm copying from Notepad a ad that I did, or excuse me, thanks for requesting information. And all I'm going to do is put that right in there, and I've told them what to do. Thank you for requesting information. Here's where you go. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this one to this one too. And that's all it is. These people have requested information about my business opportunity, and all I'm doing is sending them to the website because I am no interested in actually speaking to them. I just want them to go through my online sales funnel. That's it. And all I do once a day, I'll come in here and reply to all of these and say, hey, here's where the information is. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I have one more tip. Let me check, guys, with the webinar. Any questions, guys? You know what, Andre? I realized it is the middle of the night your time. Thanks for showing up. Okay. I have one more cool thing to share with you, and then please put any questions that you might have in the chat. Let me share my screen again. First of all, let me talk to you for a second. Some websites, as I mentioned before, have there's no way to automate from the posting to your sales funnel, which is what you want to do. You want to have that automated. I don't love having to go to Quikr once a day. As a matter of fact, I'll have my our VA do that from now on, but I don't want to do that. That's not worth my time, right? Time, money. You have to juggle what you have the most of at that particular moment. So some of them don't have an automated way of doing that, but I have solved that for you. So let me share how that works. Okay, let's go down to this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sign up for a Gmail. Oh, Don, let me make sure you can see my screen. Don.
I see your screen.
Awesome. Okay, so sign up for a Gmail account. Don't use your name. Don't use your company name. Use something innocuous like worldcandidates@gmail.com, something like that. Something that that makes sense. And you're going to set up your Gmail account. You're going to, when you sign up for any of the job boards, you're going to use the email address from your new Gmail account. And you're going to set up your Gmail account to be on a vacation reply. And on that in the vacation reply, and Gmail will do this, and you guys have done this, you've sent emails out to people and you received vacation replies. Hey, sorry, I'm in the Bahamas for the next 3 days. I'll be back on the 27th, right? Well, instead of saying that, you're going to say thank you for requesting information about whatever the name of your job posting is. Go to this website to take the next step, and you'll include your opt-in link. So the first thing someone does is they go to your, let's say a candidate, they go to your job board listing and they say, oh, this is awesome. And they hit apply or they hit email and say, request some more information from you. Well, that email is going to go directly to your Gmail account. Your Gmail is going to say, oh, I'm on vacation, so I'm going to send this email back that supposedly is a vacation reply, but you can make it say anything you want. And then the prospect will go straight to your sales information. This is a way so that you don't have to go do what I just did with Quicker. You can do everything automated through a Gmail account. So let me go over that again. Go to Gmail, sign up for a new account using a name like, obviously you don't want to be something silly like you don't want to have something like my online ATM machine at gmail.com. You don't want to do that. You want to have something nice and professional. Sign up for a Gmail account. Set it up so that you have an automatic vacation reply. Make that vacation reply an email that says, thank you for responding or requesting information about my opportunity, whatever the name of it is. Please visit the following website to request information on how to proceed. So some random person goes to your job board listing, maybe it's on Craigslist. They hit, I want more information. It sends an email to Gmail. Gmail sends an email back that says, go to your opt-in page. And then your prospect is then automatically on your list. So this is a very ninja way to handle all of those automated or all of those non-automated replies that you might have within your classified job board listings. So let me see if there's any questions. And anybody have something that maybe I haven't covered before or haven't covered, let me know. Yes, you can have a copy. Plus, Jeff, this replay will be up for sure, and then it'll also be in the archive. Frank, yes, the rebroadcast will be available. Audrey, that was so sweet. Thank you. For those of you that are watching the replay, everybody's asking for a replay, the slides, and of course, thank you, Audrey. Some nice comments. Jeff, that the AWeber stuff is not applicable to this particular webinar. So guys, I think that is it. We are under our 45-minute limit. I just want to again remind everybody to make sure to tune in next week. We've got something very, very special planned for you, and we have a very special opportunity for you as well, and an opportunity to take it further with us. And so that's kind of fun too. Don, anything? Did I miss anything? Did something come up for you that you have a question about?
I don't have any questions. I was amazed how many countries are represented here tonight, or today, or this morning, because different people are in different places. It's cool.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. It's been our pleasure to be here with you, and we will see you next, probably next Tuesday. Have a great night, everybody.